Assalamualaikum and good day to each and everyone. I am Jumara K. Binasing, the second discussant of Group 8. And my topic is about the continuation of Miss Ampuan, which is about implementing intervention and monitoring progress. It is for learners, especially learners with difficulties in self-care or daily living skills. Teachers do not only teach the skill, they also monitor and record the learner's progress to see if the learner is improving. As you can see in my PPT, I have example. It is the task analysis monitoring sheet for brushing teeth. I will discuss it later. Implementing interventions means that the teacher uses specific teaching methods or strategies to help the learner develop a target skill. For example, teaching a learner how to brush teeth step by step. The teacher guides the learner until the learner can do the task independently. While monitoring progress, it is the teacher observes and records the learner's performance regularly. So why? Why the teacher needs to observe and records the learners? To know if the learner is improving. To identify what skills are difficult for the learners. And to adjust teaching strategies if it needed. The monitoring sheet tracks is what steps the learner can do, what type of assistance is needed, and progress over time. The example here is it's a task analysis monitoring sheet. It is the skill of brushing of teeth is divided into small steps such as pick up toothbrush, open water tap, wash toothbrush, put toothbrush, brush teeth, rinse mouth, and put toothbrush back, and other more. This is called task analysis, breaking a skill into small manageable steps. The meaning of the symbols is the chart uses prompts or assistance levels. This helps teachers know how independent the learners is. As you can see in my example, there are sign up symbols. It is prompts or assistance levels for the teachers to know how the learner's independent is. And now let's talk about the community-based instruction or CBI. CBI is a teaching strategy where the learners practice their skills in real-life settings. It is to help the learners become more independent in daily life living. There are 4 domains of community-based instruction. The first one is domestic domain. Domestic domain, it is a skills used at home or daily living, like eating, grooming, hygiene, safety, and caring for others. The second domain is vocational domain. It is work-related skills, like classroom jobs, community work experience, internship, and paid work experiences. The third one is recreation or leisure domain. It is about activities for enjoyment and social interaction, like school activities, sports, family activities, or physical fitness. And the last one is community domain. It is a skills for functioning in the community, like community safety, shopping, and using public places. And there are other important teaching strategies. First is systematic feedback. Teachers give immediate and clear feedback, such as praise for correct behavior, corrections for mistakes, and positive reinforcement to motivate the learners. And the second one is direct and frequent measurement. Teachers regularly measure progress to objectively record the improvements, challenges, and skill mastery. It helps teachers to know whether the intervention is effective. And the third one is play-based learning. The learners develop cognitive skills through play and games while still learning. And the last one is technology applications. Technology helps motivate learners through educational games, audiobooks, PowerPoint presentations, and interactive activities. This also improves their listening, reading, writing, memory, and vocabulary skills. In short summary, it explains how teachers help learners develop important life skills through interventions and regular monitoring. And now, let's moving on to the chapter 17, which is trends and issues in teaching learners with difficulty with self-care. In this chapter, it explains the importance of inclusive education for learners with disabilities, especially those with difficulty in self-care. Study shows that learners perform better academically and socially when they are included in regular classrooms rather than separated. What is inclusive education is? According to UNESCO 2016, the inclusive education ensures all learners have equal educational opportunities. And learners with disabilities study with same age peers in regular classrooms. And schools should remove barriers that prevent participation and learning. Inclusion is not only about allowing learners to enter school, but also making sure they can be fully participate and succeed. There are also barriers to inclusion. In this chapter, it explains that some learners face barriers in education. The first barriers is environmental barriers. It is a problems in the system or environment, such as inaccessible policies, lack of support services, and poor classroom accommodations. And the second one is the attitudinal barriers. It is the negative attitudes from society, such as stereotypes, discrimination, negative language, and stigma. These barriers limit learners' participation and achievement. So there are meaning of inclusion. In this chapter, it explains that there is no single definition of inclusion. Some people believe inclusion means full-time placement in regular classrooms, while the other believes integrating learners with disabilities into mainstream classroom as much as possible. The way inclusion is defined affects how schools implement it. And now, let's talk about the positive effects of inclusion for learners with disabilities. The research study showed that inclusion leads to higher expectations for learning, better engagement and participation, improved communication and social skills, stronger friendships and relationships, better academic performance in literacy and mathematics, fewer absences and behavior problems, achievement of more IEP goals, and better adult outcomes such as employment and independence. There are also positive effects for learners without disabilities. Inclusion also benefits students without disabilities by helping them develop their friendship and leadership skills, social competence, awareness and acceptance of differences, positive social growth, better academic participation, and improved attitudes toward diversity. In this chapter, it's emphasized that inclusive education benefits both learners with disabilities and those without disabilities. It improves academic achievement, social skills, participation, confidence, and independence. Inclusion also promotes acceptance, diversity, and equal opportunities while reducing barriers and discrimination in education. So I think that's all for my part. Thank you for listening and have a good day to each and everyone.